It's time for a death battle!
Rewritten.
Dio Brando, everlasting adversary of the Joestar bloodline.
And Dracula, the everlasting vampire lord of Castlevania.
Okay, so he's not technically a vampire like, say, Dracula. Instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations.
Making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance.
It gets weirder. Dio can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair follicles, vaporize the moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky.
Even more insane is Dio's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Another similar vampire, Straight, survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
All Dio needs is some blood to speed up the process. Guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers. Ugh.
Dio used his powers to raise a zombie army to conquer the world. Because, should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly disintegrate.
So, what did Dio do? Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to JoJo's body.
Dio gained a stand, the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities. Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history, the World, with its ability to stop time.
Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
The World is absurdly strong and fast, able to match the stand Star Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo. He technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the World the same stand.
And both are 2 of the strongest stands out there, just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
By measuring the distance the meteors are from Earth, we can estimate they were moving at over 11 million meters per second. Factoring in their mass, they'd each have a kinetic energy of 441 kilotons of TNT.
Not that crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own, and taken its punches head on. Dio's still a careful tactician, capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he wasn't prepared for Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. This Dracula is the avatar of chaos on Earth, the opposite to God. He's got your standard vampire loadout like blood-sucking, flight, razor-sharp claws, telekinesis, and even tripping balls teleportation.
He can also exert his influence over all living things, whether it be mind control, body possession, or absorbing the souls and abilities of fallen enemies through his power of dominance.
Also, Dracula can shapeshift to his black heart's desire, like into a swarm of bats, a cloud of mist, and a wolf.
He's also a master sorcerer, able to summon fireballs, meteors, and acid blood rain from the sky. Dark Inferno is a huge ball of magma that will fry anything in its path, and he can revitalize himself with another's life energy via Soul Steal.
Then there's his most powerful attack, a localized nuke of holy magic, the Demonic Megiddo. Turns out Dracula is a much tougher vampire to kill than lame old Walter.
Even after losing his entire body, Dracula's soul remained tethered to chaos. Thus, he would be resurrected every 100 years.
When he wants to go all out, he can draw from the power of the chaotic realm and transform into one of many awesome monsters. Like a giant demon bird, a giant demon head, and a giant demon head in a painting that vomits out bats.
Dracula can punch hard enough to rend stone, move quick enough to catch arrows out of thin air, and even warp the fabric of reality itself.
He's tough enough to survive a lightning strike, get blasted by an enormous meteor, and even get crushed under the weight of his fortress, aka the Castlevania.
By measuring the size of Castlevania on the game's official art, we know it should weigh around 2 million tons. Even then, Dracula has regenerated his body from decapitation, a mess of blood, and even full-on disintegration. Naturally, with the help of holy weapons, which Dracula is certainly not a fan of.
Also, even when he's turned his body into some misty vape clouds, he keeps his head vulnerable. Because
his hubris, Dracula's blatant arrogance would lead to his ultimate downfall, allowing his enemies to sever his connection to the chaotic realm and thus end his cycle of resurrections. So instead, he was reincarnated
into a white-haired anime boy with the power of friendship, Soma Cruz, who turned out to be just as powerful as Dracula Classic, like when he dodged beams of light or when he defeated chaos itself.
Both Ganondorf and Dracula show similar reaction speeds, with only a small % difference when compared to the speed of light. Based on the distance Link moved relative to this beam, we can estimate his own reaction speed to be about 11% the speed of light.
Light? No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own powerful stands in history. The world, with its ability to stop time.
Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
Based on its size, composition, and speed of ablation, it must have struck with an energy equivalent to 2 megatons of TNT.
Beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating the size of the clouds and the speed at which they moved, Dio's beams must have output an energy of over 10 megatons of TNT.
Turns out Dracula is a much tougher vampire to kill than lame old Walter.
Even after losing his entire body, Dracula's soul remained tethered to chaos. Thus, he would be resurrected every 100 years.